She says she want hood nigga. I keep the perk by the pound. The trunk stay bumped and y'all know we run the town. Hood nigga. And I keep a bad bitch around. Thick bitch, long hair, yellow, white, red, brown. Hood nigga. And my Chevy sitting on 24s. Flats look like flapjack. Pancake, you ain't no hood nigga. I'ma play the game how it go. They can take me out the hood, but I'ma keep it hood, folks. I'm on that good and alcohol. I got some down bitches I can't call. What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a ball till the day I fall. Yeah, long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this super fly, dirt, coast, mud and water. Shorty, pop that pussy if you wanna. Let me tell you about this old school pouring lean, candy yams and collard greens, pocket full of stones, riding clean.
Well, I'm just one parlay away from a new house, new car. I'm just one parlay away. Trust I'ma take us far. I'm just one parlay away. One parlay away. One parlay away. Oh, I took the Chiefs on over. Took my homes on yards. Everything is going good so far. Lakers beating the Knicks. Spread is only 6. 2 minutes left in the game, baby. I'm about to hit. Ow!
I need out, yeah, I need out. Blood pressure higher than a body count. Tomorrow she has to go. She's a mama. I think I married a hoe. Married a hoe. I said, mama, I think I married a hoe. I made a mistake, mama. No, oh no. I want you. A man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. All these hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal. When a rich brother wants you and your man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. Ain't loyal. Whoa, these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah, these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah, these hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal.
go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my...
Man, welcome back, y'all, to another one, man. It's another episode on the JVJ Network. I am your host, Let's Talk with JVJ, man. We switching it up, man. I told y'all, man, we're going to start doing some of these sports shows over on the Sports Channel and just a network, so hopefully y'all slowly roll in when y'all see that. It ain't going down on Let's Talk with JVJ today, man. Y'all gotta support your boy on all platforms. But look, man. On your way in, as usual, still the same gist, man. We're trying to grow around here. We're trying to build this thing up, and I can only do it with y'all help. So y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn them notices on. Make sure y'all click all, because we trying to get it, man. We're trying to get it. Man, look, hold on. I gotta get my music, man. Hold up, where my music at? Y'all, give me one second. Sinister. Yeah, we can run a little sinister, man. A little dark time around here. You are now introduced to the dark times. Hey, that motherfucker, he should be starting out like that a little bit. That shit fire though. Hey, look, man. Tonight we are gonna cover two different topics. But the first one we got to start off with what's most recent, y'all. What's recently going on in the sports world, and that is the person by the name of Shedeur Sanders, y'all. Shedeur Sanders. That's what we're gonna be talking about tonight, man. Because we have just gotten into preseason football, and we just had the first weekend of it. We got to see a lot of the talent that was drafted in this last draft, and we all know there were narratives circulating around Shedeur, but whether he can play or not. Number one sold jersey in the NFL right now, so you already know people are going to talk about this. But the boy was doubted. He was doubted, and he fell in the draft. He was somebody that was projected to go 1, 2, or 3. In the NFL draft. Ended up going on the third day in the 5th round, y'all. 144th or some shit like that. Outrageous number. And we're going to talk about how the people spoke on him beforehand, right during the draft or right after the draft, compared to how they're speaking about him now. Because I'm one of those people that is a firm believer, y'all, in keeping that same energy. Don't switch it up now when you're starting to look wrong. Keep that same energy. So we're just going to go back in time a little bit, y'all. We're going to go back in time a little bit. And we're going to check out and see what was said and what was being talked about. What were the narratives being pushed at the draft night or during draft night? And then we're going to talk about where everything is now today. What people are on right now. So as usual, get your popcorn, get your weed, get whatever you need, because we about to get into it. And without further ado, let's roll this tape, y'all.
Every NFL draft has its own drama, but some moments hit different. The moments where you watch a top prospect, someone hyped for years, sit there while pick after pick flashes by. Aaron Rodgers lived it, Lamar Jackson too. And now, in 2025, Shedeur Sanders just lived the most shocking draft slide, honestly, probably in all of NFL history.
Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon. The New York Giants select Jackson Dart. Quarterback, Mississippi.
Tyler Shuck. Quarterback, Louisville.
Jalen Milrow.
Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, boy.
Quarterback, Oregon.
I think it's disgusting. I don't understand what the heck's going on with this.
Tonight for Shedeur Sanders, this is a time for some deep self-reflection.
I believe that the biggest issue in all of this was primetime Deion Sanders and the thought of having to deal with him.
But to understand this completely, I think we need to rewind a little bit, back to 2007.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. So glad you can be with us. Once again, ESPN Gavel to Gavel coverage.
Brady Quinn, Notre Dame's golden boy, a Maxwell Award winner, and a third-place Heisman finisher. Yeah, he was supposed to be a top 10 pick that year. Many mocks at the time had him going number 3 to the...
Exceptionally for the Cleveland Browns, as a new franchise in the last 5 or 6 years, what do you need to do to make a statement? Brady Quinn is a statement maker.
Cameras locked in on his every blink, every fidget, and then nothing.
The Cleveland Browns select left tackle Joe Thomas, Wisconsin.
After the Browns went with offensive tackle Joe Thomas, team after team, they passed.
Well, I've always talked about this. We don't have a say in where we go in this draft. We just kind of have to sit back and wait and see what happens.
Finally, the Cleveland Browns traded up to grab him at the number 22 pick.
The Cleveland Browns select Brady Quinn, quarterback, Notre Dame.
Painful? Yeah, but still a first-round pick. Unlike many other draft fallers, Quinn didn't have any character concerns or injuries working against him. Teams just simply didn't believe he was worth a top pick. And in hindsight, their evaluations, they were right. Quinn struggled to find success in the NFL and never fully developed into a consistent starter.
I'm having trouble thinking they're going to go Johnny Football here, but if they do, boy, it'd be fun. This whole place is going to go nuts.
2014, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, college celebrity royalty. His Texas A&M teammate Mike Evans, who many at the time felt his play and talent made Manziel a better prospect than he actually was, went number 7 overall to Tampa Bay.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Mike Evans, wide receiver, Texas A&M.
Johnny, he slid and slid until, yeah, that's right, you guessed it, the Browns again at number 22.
The Cleveland Browns select Johnny Manziel.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention, man. The guy's trying to do a comparison of other people that were projected high or people thought they might go high, and they slid. Name one quarterback that he's named so far that's better than Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders. That's the question you got to leave on the table.
Quarterback, Texas A&M.
The buzz surrounding Manziel gave Cleveland some life, but both his off-field concerns, lack of game preparation, and questions about his size turned out to be legitimate. Manziel was out of the NFL within 2 years. History usually doesn't repeat, but it definitely rhymes, especially for Cleveland, who forever have been chasing that quarterback messiah. And in 2025, they were back in the eye of the storm. But this time, the fall was even bigger. And the name was Shedeur Sanders. So I've got a question. If you were seriously injured, do you know what your case could be worth?
No, we
it
definitely
could
not
be
doing that.
112
We definitely not
description
doing
again at Dom Slack.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
If you're looking for like a 30 for 30 story, this is it. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just any quarterback. He was the son of, well...
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Atlanta Falcons, please welcome Deion Sanders.
I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would have asked for so much money that they had to put me on layaway.
On layaway,
Oh, it's the real Deion. He's just like James Brown. He's real. He's real.
NFL legend, charisma machine, cultural icon, and most importantly for Shedeur, coach.
Primetime Deion Sanders was officially introduced as a head coach of the Jackson State football team this morning.
As a 4-star recruit, Shedeur would start his collegiate career, committing to play for Florida Atlantic before flipping to follow his dad to Jackson State and HBCU, where he didn't just play well, he broke records, revived programs, and made headlines.
Here it is, heaving it up in the end zone, trying to get business. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Jackson State. He's incredible.
Over Shedeur's 2 seasons as a starter, the Tigers went 11-2 and 12-1 with the back-to-back SWAC conference titles. Then in 2023, he followed his dad to the University of Colorado.
I'm thrilled to welcome Deion, Coach Prime Sanders, to the University of Colorado as our 25th full-time head football coach.
Deion Sanders was given the opportunity to take over as the head coach of the Buffaloes, a program reaching for air with just 2 winning seasons since, 2005. Critics circled, could he handle real competition? Well, they would be immediately tested in the first game against 17th-ranked TCU.
Now think about the downplaying of the competition that they played at the Jackson State level. He said, "Oh, when they're not, well, how would he fare? Pretty much playing against real competition." So we're just gonna dismiss what all them folks doing in the HBC league, in the SWAC, and all that, because there's a lot of players that get drafted that come from those leagues. Now, I'm not saying it's the highest competition level when it really comes down to it, because, you know, the 5 stars and the 5s and the 4s and most of the 3s end up going to Power 5s. But to just miss all the talent, that's just pretty much just trying to dismiss what the young man and his father did while they were down there at Jackson State. That's a statement right there, just dismissing what they did down there. Like, yeah, they did that down there, but, you know, man, they ain't do it up here. Well, what they do when they got up there?
Sanders looking wide open, touchdown. Dylan Edwards. Sanders
Off his back foot, caught, first down, and more down the sideline. Stop and start, Edwards. Touchdown, Colorado.
Colorado stunned the world by upsetting TCU 45-42, with Shedeur throwing for a school record 510 yards for 4 touchdowns. From there, he kept rolling.
3rd and 10 for Sanders. Steps up in the pocket. Sanders trying to race to that first down marker. Eludes the tackle, and Sanders gonna strut into the end zone. And Colorado, chance to tie.
The Shedeur and Travis Hunter show became appointment viewing, just like Manziel and Evans once were. But we'll get back to that later. Colorado got off to a 3-0 start that year, but will go on to win just 1 of 8 games the rest of the season, primarily due to poor offensive line play. Shedeur, however, finished the season completing 69.3% of his passes for 3,230 yards with a 27-3 touchdown to interception ratio.
Think about those numbers, y'all. First year in Power 5 FBS competition on a team that has been traditionally sorry and straight trash. It's hot garbage. It's just been bad, bro. They were just bad. Listen to his stats again. Starting for the first time in FBS, because you know they said after he said he was going to Colorado with his daddy, the news all around, all the haters came out. I didn't know all these people had a problem with Deion Sanders. And I didn't know they were going to take it out on his son. I don't know what Deion did to him besides being an unapologetic, happy black guy. But all this hate came out and said his son couldn't play at that level, like his son did something to him. Listen to his stats as a rookie in D1, because technically that's his first year playing D1 Power 5 FBS. Listen to these stats again.
With 3-0 start that year, but will go on to win just 1 of 8 games the rest of the season, primarily due to poor offensive line play. Shedeur, however, finished the season completing 69.3% of his passes for 3,230 yards with a 27-3 touchdown to interception ratio.
27-3.
Shedeur quickly became known for his flashy and confident demeanor.
He don't turn the ball over and he accurate. Who don't want that as a quarterback? But either way, let's keep going. He got known for what? Being cocky? How's he cocky?
A chip off the old block. His signature celebration of flashing his Audemars became a staple for all of football fans and rivals. In his second and final year at Colorado, Sanders led the Buffaloes to a 9-4 record, winning 5 of their last 6 games, briefly garnering postseason buzz in the first year of the 12-team college football playoff. Ultimately, though, they would make an appearance in the Alamo Bowl, losing to BYU. But regardless of how the season ended, Shedeur, he set a program single-season record for passing yards, completion, touchdowns, and quarterback rating. He was named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year and named the winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award.
Being able to get recognized as being the best quarterback in college football, and this award right here means a lot to me. This
got awarded the best college quarterback award, the best quarterback in college, and they said he couldn't play.
Award not only represents me, but it represents the receiver room and the whole offense.
Early mock drafts, Shedeur was a top 5 lock, maybe even number 1. Shedeur, he was beside Miami quarterback Cam Ward in those discussions. But as Ward solidified himself as the top quarterback, Sanders' status grew increasingly unclear. And then the whispers, they started. Scouts poked holes, high sack rate. Maybe he held the ball too long. His arm strength, not elite. Off the field, being Deion's son was both his shield and his target. Shedeur's status wasn't as clear to NFL teams, and skipping some of those evaluation steps, like not working out during the combine, may have proved to be more of a risk than a reward. See, that decision.
Now you're hearing the excuses for why they say he slid. They're putting all these excuses out here. Why this man slid in the draft? Well, it's arm strength. Taking too many sacks. For somebody that played football and actually played the quarterback position, taking too many sacks can mean one or two things. Either you're holding on to the ball too long, which is the one that they took, or that you had a terrible offensive line and you always had pressure in your face. And that's what we saw. You're taking people that saw him sit behind a line where he had to get the ball out in less than 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And the college level, you're at least supposed to get 4.5. NFL, about 3.4, 3.5 time you need to get the ball out. In college, he was having to get the ball out faster than NFL at an NFL time span. And y'all said, oh, maybe he's holding on to the ball too long. They were looking for things to pick apart of him because of his father. Because of his father. I'm sorry, I didn't gave y'all the conclusion at the end. It's because of his father, man. Look, the boy slid because of his father. But either way, though, salute to my boy Hurricane in the building, man. And I'm gonna drop the link for y'all because I want to know if any of y'all got a different opinion about this shit. But he gonna keep breaking it down because I wanted to go find shit that they were talking about after the draft. Why he failed the way he failed. All the excuses they made because I want to know how they feel right now.
Spoke largely to the confidence Sanders and his camp had in his status as a top pick. Shedeur did, however, work out for NFL teams at Colorado's Pro Day. He showcased an accurate deep ball but had some wobbly throws on shorter routes, which led league evaluators to describe his arm strength as good, but not great.
He's the hardest quarterback I've had to evaluate since I've gotten into TV. Because 75% of his snaps don't matter, Greeny. And that's the reality for everybody that's evaluating Shedeur Sanders. Half of the snaps that he had at Colorado are thrown inside of 5 yards. It feels like when you watch his tape, every ball is thrown at the line of scrimmage. You're not drafting him in the top 5 for that, right? So throw that out. That's half the snaps. And then 25% of the snaps, the offensive line protection is so terrible that I don't care if you have Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. You're not doing anything with that either. So you get to evaluate 25% of his snaps.
Then the infamous.
Y'all heard that right. Y'all heard that right. But they praise somebody like Tom Brady that what he actually coined the term, like he made it famous. Dink and dime. Dink and dime. 5 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. Dinking and dunking. Dinking and dunking. I don't know why I said dink and dime. Dinking and dunking. But a player that really resembles his play style, and y'all call Tom Brady the GOAT for some reason, he exudes that. And he's criticized for it. Look at the double standard. Let's keep going.
This interview process. I mean, these reports took like wildfire. It's been widely reported that his in-person interviews were not the best. The reports would say Shedeur did not give it his all during some of the meetings, which rubbed some teams the wrong way. Josina Anderson reported that an anonymous NFL quarterbacks coach said Sanders was brash and arrogant during pre-draft interviews, while Todd McShay reported that some teams felt Sanders didn't have a professional approach during interviews. Shortly after these reports, mock drafts would verify the rumors that were spreading. Shedeur, he would begin to slide. First round, then late first. Some even had him early second.
I don't like the fact that I'm looking at a guy that has gone from speculation about being the number 1 overall pick between him and Cam Ward to being maybe the number 3 pick to the New York Giants, to being the number 6 pick of the Las Vegas Raiders, to being number 9 for the New Orleans Saints, to dropping down to 21 at the Pittsburgh Steelers, to going in the mock drafts where he's going to be 29th, whether it's Mel Kiper Jr. or somebody else saying it. Okay, not that he deserves it, but they're saying that's what's projected. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is this precipitous drop all about.
But those are just
what was it about? What was it about? See, Hurricane said his father was smashing all the snow bunnies wearing a glittery bandana. That's why they mad. Man, hey, look. To this day, we'll never know. But I know one thing I can certainly guarantee, and I'm going to say it at the end of this.
Mock drafts, right? They don't necessarily mean that's what teams really are thinking, right?
The 2025 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
As expected, Ward would be taken first overall to the Tennessee Titans. But while Shedeur seems to still be a good bet to be the second quarterback taken, it didn't quite go like that.
The New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
The New York Giants trade.
You heard that shit? Y'all even heard the New York fans. The New York fans booed that shit. They was like, we supposed to get Shedeur. Them motherfuckers, boo. Listen to him again. Listen to him again. They ain't want that boy.
Select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
The New York Giants traded back.
Everybody shocked. Everybody in commentation shocked. Everybody that's a commentator out there shocked. Why you think they shocked? Because they watched the film just like we watched the film. They studied the players just like we studied the players. And they took Jackson Dart. And I'm not even going to knock Jackson Dart because I thought he was good. Ole Miss quarterback, you know they gunslingers. He'll get out there and fling that ball across the field. He had a lot of good things going for him. He wasn't better than Shedeur. He and Ward was questionable. Very questionable. That's very debatable. But Jackson Dart, Oh, hell no. Yeah, they already knew what it was. They own fans booed that shit.
Back into the first round at number 25 overall to take Ole Miss's Jackson Dart, which in hindsight makes sense. A lot of Ole Miss ties exist inside the Giants organization. And honestly,
Eli?
Dart is the type of quarterback that fits Brian Dable's system a lot better. But then it started getting a little weird.
The New Orleans Saints select Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Louisville.
The Cleveland
Nobody ever even heard of this dude. This dude spent about 17 years in college.
Browns select Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, boy. Ain't nobody think that shit was going to happen. Look at him. He had to go get brand new ass goddamn grass to wrap around his neck because his family didn't know he was going to get drafted.
Quarterback, Oregon.
Every team who needed a quarterback.
Look, even his granddaddy, his daddy sitting over there on the side. This motherfucker can't even believe it. Like, this motherfucker, I said over there, I can't believe they took this boy.
Every team who needed a quarterback or was linked to Shedeur all passed multiple times. In all, 5 quarterbacks came off the board over the first 2 days of the draft, and Sanders was not one of them, which is something nobody could have predicted happening.
I am stunned. I thought last night when I mentioned the possibility of Shedeur Sanders maybe not being drafted in the second round, that even perhaps I would look silly a day later and he would hear his name called within the first 5 or 6 selections tonight. Scott, I understand that Deion Sanders, and there's a lot of attention being paid to him being the son of one of the most notable athletes that we have seen in the history of professional sports. But frankly, I'm stunned. I don't have a good explanation for why Shedeur Sanders has not heard his name called. I had him as the 16th rated player on my board. I haven't been doing this nearly as long as Mel Kiper, but I can't imagine there have been too many instances where the 16th rated player on a big board is still available on day 3.
But why?
Think about that. Really think about that. He had him number 16th ranked out of all players in the draft. Not to mention, because a lot of people got to take into context that they draft by position of what the team needs. Like, if we need a quarterback, that's the number 1 priority. We'll move up in a draft to get a quarterback if we really need a quarterback. All these teams that needed quarterbacks that were drafting passed on this dude and took other people that they did. They do. We gonna find out that they suck. We find out that they suck. They passed over this kid. You really have to ask yourself the question, why? And if people want to say, like they said earlier in here, he was arrogant and he was brash, I'd rather somebody be arrogant and brash as a quarterback than somebody that runs away from police. I'd rather have somebody that's arrogant and brash than somebody that grabs their nuts on the field during a game in front of all the fans. But, that's neither here nor there. You can steal crab legs, supposedly, try to tarnish one person's name, and you can still get drafted number 1. We're going to talk about why it happened, but either way, I'm going to let him keep going.
Why did this happen? Well,
yeah, and look, and Hurricane, you're right about that. The commentator was devastated. He was devastated. He was like, what the fuck is going on around here? Like, we've all graded this guy. We always be somewhat close to what the fuck's going on. We've never seen nobody drop like this, bro. Something is up. Something is right. Let's keep going.
There's a few reasons. Play style issues, pocket awareness question, and his ability to avoid sacks was doubted.
Now y'all hearing this shit. This is what he gonna say. This is what he's saying. He's repeating what the other people said before. I'm not gonna put this on this content creator. That's why I didn't say his name before we did this one. But he's gonna repeat the same shit that these so-called anonymous sources kept saying. Listen to this shit.
Can't imagine there have been too many instances where the 16th rated player on a big board.
Bro, I'm an Alabama fan, and they took Jalen Milroe in front of fucking Shedeur Sanders. Bro, they tripping.
Is still available on day 3. You're going.
But why? Why did this happen? Well, there's a few reasons. Play style issues, pocket awareness question, and his ability to avoid sacks was doubted. Were Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, were they the safer options? Or was it the interviews? Just behind closed doors, teams weren't sold? Or was it because of his last name? Like it or not, his father, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, played a huge role in Shedeur's entire NFL draft story, for better or for worse. The positives: he received massive exposure. Playing for his dad at Colorado made Shedeur a national name. He got huge media coverage, NIL deals, brand power, stuff most college QBs can only dream about. He got elite coaching and mentorship. Deion's NFL experience gave Shedeur a ton of knowledge about how the league works, how to handle media, and how to stay mentally tough. He wasn't just some random quarterback. He carried himself like a pro from the beginning. He also installed belief and confidence.
How can you say he carried himself like a pro from the very beginning and then turn around and say that he's brash and arrogant? All these negatives. But he carried himself like a pro. Y'all catch on to that shit when they try to slide that shit in there. I don't repeat lies that other people say. That's one thing I try my best not to do. That's one of the things on the list of things I try my best to do. I will not try to sit over here and repeat lies that other motherfuckers said. Like, come on, bro. He carried himself like a pro, but he was arrogant and brash.
He instilled in Shedeur a real sense of I belong at the top. It's built into how he plays. But there's also the flip side to that, the perception of favoritism. Some NFL teams seriously questioned whether Shedeur was only successful because his dad built everything around him, the offense, the locker room, the entire culture. And
Hey, think about how crazy that is. I want y'all to hear that last part right there, because that is very important.
Some NFL teams seriously questioned whether Shedeur was only successful because his dad built everything around him, the offense, the locker room, the entire culture. And
some NFL teams were worried that he was only successful because his dad built the entire program around him. That's very, like, you insinuating that he built the entire program around him. But I know at your motherfucking level, when you get a fucking quarterback, you build the entire team around your quarterback. If you are assuming that that's what happened in Colorado and you saw how good he looked doing that, maybe you should do the exact same thing at the next level. Matter of fact, bitch, you already do that at the next level. So how is that a negative? You play to your players' strengths. You don't, this is not no 1974 where it's like, I run a running gun offense and that's what we're going to do. And you ain't got players with legs. You ain't going to do no running gun out here, motherfucker. And I know that was a dumbass analogy. I know that didn't work for real. But that's how dumb that statement is. You adjust your offense, you adjust your game plan for the capabilities of your players. Good coaches do that. Bad coaches are the ones that can't change with the times. That's why Bill Belichick took his ass to college. That's why he went to college. He couldn't coach at the NFL level no more. He made players play the way he wanted to play, nothing but what I want. And it's like, no, bro, these players come in with different qualities, different abilities. If Lamar Jackson would have came in the league 10 years earlier than when he did, bro, they would have destroyed this player. The coaching staff and the organizations would have destroyed him. But he luckily looked up with Harbaugh, and Harbaugh saw what he was good at, and he played into it. And now this dude is one of the best fucking passing quarterbacks in NFL league history. But according to this dumbass shit that was just said, it was all shaped around him, and that's bad. Oh, man, bitch, please, that's what your job is, dumb motherfucker.
Let's be honest. Deion is polarizing. His larger-than-life personality makes Shedeur have a larger-than-life personality. See, here's the thing about Deion and
what's
Shedeur.
The problem with
Prime,
that?
he gave Shedeur the platform.
What's the problem with that? Damn. It sounds like it's a bunch of grown-ass, rich-ass, jealous-ass white boys. Just being honest. That's what it sounds like. Because we know white folks run the NFL, own the NFL teams, pretty much take up majority of the goddamn fucking coaching staff, and then black players are the main ones on the field. It sounds like a bunch of jealous-ass white folks. Like that, what's going on? What's like really? This is how far we've sunk. This is how far the superior race has sunk that they jealous of a black kid. Really? Because somebody gonna have to admit that shit. Because that's what it seemed like.
Platform and the swag to be a star. But that same connection also made some NFL teams hesitate because they weren't sure what they were really getting, the player or the brand. But on day 3, one team would finally.
How about both?
Finally pull the trigger.
The Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback.
Like, y'all see that, man. Y'all see when they called out Dylan Gabriel, ain't nobody cheering like that. But Shedeur get taken in the 5th round, these bitches cheering. That lets you know who the fans know who it is.
Oh, but Cleveland, right? And just like that, Shedeur Sanders' fall was over. Now, it's simple. It's not about where you start. It's about what you do next. Shedeur joins a Browns quarterback room that's anything but settled. Veterans, rookies, Dylan Gabriel, which still makes no sense to me, to be honest, but it's the...
Look at the locker room they put him in. You got Deshaun Watson. He's hurt, so you ain't got to really worry about him this year. He might come back later in the year. He got a fully guaranteed $260 million, so they got to figure something out with that. You got Dylan Gabriel that they drafted in the 3rd round in front of him. They traded a 5th-round pick to get Kenny Pickett on the team, and they brought Joe Flacco back up in there. They drafted this boy into a locker room with 3 people he got to compete with. You think they trying to set him up for success? They trying to already get rid of the other black guy they got. They already trying to get rid of the other black guy they got. But the good thing for him is he got $260 million in the bank. Well, not in the bank, because they probably took about half of that. So he probably got $130 in the bank, and depending on how much he done spent tricking. Because we heard Deshaun Watson like to trick. He like to trick on massages and shit. But either way, though, look at what they put him into. You put him into 2 veterans, one that don't won a Super Bowl, one that just, I don't even understand how he got drafted where he got drafted. But, that's once again another situation with a Dylan Gabriel type shit. It's like, bitch, how did you get drafted right there? And they do it every year. Every year in the draft, y'all look at that shit. Look at a quarterback that ain't good, that ain't fucking supposed to be where they supposed to be at, and they get drafted somewhere in front of somebody that actually is deserving. Like that Tyler Shuck dude, the one in New Orleans. That motherfucker played in college for about 17,000 years. And they drafted this motherfucker. He 26, 27 getting drafted. Like, what? He wasn't even that good. That's crazy, bro. You wasn't even that good, man. But either way, though, I'm sorry.
Which still makes no sense to me, to be honest, but it's the Browns. Realistically, this is where legends are made or forgotten. Because sometimes the chip on your shoulder is the best tool you have. Tom Brady knows it. So does Lamar. And now, Shedeur knows it too. See, this isn't just another...
And see, and that's why I don't like that comparison. I'm sorry I'm stopping a lot right here, y'all, because we right at the end. I don't like that comparison. Stop putting fucking Tom Brady in there as if, Tom Brady went in the 6th round, so, he had a similar situation. Tom Brady was not as good as Shedeur Sanders in college. Can we just go ahead and get that out the way right now? Tom Brady was not a good quarterback in college. He didn't even play that much in college. Be real. Tom Brady went exactly where he should have went when he got drafted. He turned into something. Tom Brady did not show you any of that what he became when he was in college. They need to stop trying to rope that boy in there. A better comparison is Lamar, but Lamar still went he was the last pick of the 1st round. And I don't know, man. I think Shedeur is a better, it really comes with what you want. Shedeur, I'll say overall, Shedeur was better, but what Lamar had, his potential was way better than what Shedeur's potential is. And Lamar went number 32 in the 1st round, 31, 32, I think it's something like that in the 1st round. Y'all let this boy drift all the way to the fucking 5th round. He really ain't got a comparison when you really come down to it, but Lamar will be the closest. But he really ain't got no comp to how they did him. Tom Brady is not even on the list. Tom Brady was not good in college like that.
What could have been story? At least to me, this is a watch what happens next kind of story. It doesn't matter if you're the number 1 pick or number 144. The journey is long. And in the NFL, it's not about where you start, but it's about how you finish.
Yeah, I see how they try to throw in that little shit at the end, man. It ain't where you start. It's how you finish. Yeah, look, if you're a type of person that don't have a problem with being disrespected, like just being honest, if you one of them type of people, you ain't got a problem with being disrespected. And honestly, you got to get over it. You got to get over whatever the hell happened to you. I get it. You can't just sit there and hold on to it, but that shit still does matter. Man, we got Uncanny in the middle of it. Oh, you at work again?
I'm working every day now.
Man, I swear, every time I do a show, your ass is at work. But what you got, man? Go on, tell the people what's up and let them know your thoughts on this bullshit.
It's uncanny. Can you read that?
Hey, look, man, I'm a low-key Browns fan too, right? Well, here you go. I'm a low-key Shedeur fan.
I'm rooting for the kid. I'm rooting for the kid.
Well, what's your thoughts on what happened in this whole breakdown? Because a lot of shit was said.
Well, I came up here to say that they're comparing it to Tom Brady only because of like the late round picks. But you're right. Tom Brady wasn't a high draft quarterback in 2000. He wasn't. He did He did. He was called the Michigan comeback kid, though. They did call him that, but he wasn't like, like I guess
He
you would
wasn't
not
that
say he was
dude.
a yeah. But Shedeur, he was a dude. And honestly, like I remember having a conversation with you about this like about a while back, and I was like, oh man, well now all he has to do is beat out all the other quarterbacks, and then maybe he'll win the QB1 and start for the Browns and shit and la 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 la. But now when I think about it, they kind of messed up his pay because don't number one draft picks get like like 50
He
mil
would
or
have got.
something like that?
He would have got 44. I think it was 44 or 45. But it could go up to 50 million. I remember it's somewhere in that range.
So they just messed up his bag literally because now
Yep.
he's getting paid like what 300,000 a year or something like that.
Now he got I think he signed a. Yeah, it ain't gonna be a lot. I think he signed like a 10 million or no, a $4 million deal or some shit like that. It ain't. It ain't. Nah. It's a big difference. Just put it like
Yeah.
that. It's a big ass difference between what he can paid and what he's getting paid.
But now everybody is seeing what we all knew. You know what I mean?
Hold
Like
on, don't speak on that yet. Well, matter of fact, fuck it. Go ahead and speak on it, because I'm gonna show it to him after you say something about it. Because that's what we're gonna show next.
Well, we're in preseason. That's why.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. What we saw, what we knew.
What was he like 5 for 6, 2 tutties?
Talking about in the preseason game?
Preseason game, yeah.
14 for 23, 2 touchdowns, 100 and almost, I think, 38 yards, no turnovers. He was clean. He was clean in 3 quarters.
Two tutties.
And his 2 touchdowns weren't easy touchdowns. Like, if people want to sit around and say something crazy, like the way he made those plays, bruh, we saw other preseason quarterbacks, rookies that got drafted in front of him, not look nowhere near even as close as good as he looked. And
No, not at all.
It was really like you took him off the Colorado team, you picked him up and said, hey, man, do a preseason game with the goddamn Chicago Bears. Get you a couple months of practice with them, whatever.
Not them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, that's how it really looked. It's like you just picked this boy up and put him over here and said, man, go play with them. And let me see what you got. And he looked just like he looked when he was at Colorado, when he actually had protection. He just had protection. That was the biggest problem that he had at Colorado, in my honest opinion. He had no protection.
The Browns got a pretty good offensive line. The Bears don't. That's why I said don't use the Bears, because the Bears he'll be running for his life with the Bears.
My bad. I said the Bears. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because if he on the Bears team, he running like Caleb,
Like Caleb came from college running and went to the NFL running.
He getting sacked. Like I think he was like the most sacked quarterback last year.
Hey, think about it. They talked about Caleb holding on the ball too long. He still went number 1.
But here's my thing. I don't know if you're gonna go with this route, because I heard you say there was another quarterback that went number 1, and he was a fuck up.
Baker?
You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah.
You talking about? Yeah, Baker. Baker was a certified fuck up. I guess
Fuck
you could say,
up.
well, Baker, people will say, well, he won the Heisman. Shedeur didn't win the Heisman. I'm like, okay, you want to, you can take that, but
fuck. He was a fuck up. He was drinking, and if you ever want to talk about wasted talent, that is right there. Baker Mayfield's wasted talent.
I like him now. I ain't here to talk shit about Baker Mayfield, y'all, because I like what he has become now. But Baker had a dark side. Baker was a certified man. If he was black, that bitch would be in prison right now.
100%.
I ain't trying to be mean. I ain't trying to make it racial, but y'all already know that man, run from the police. As a black dude, run from the police while you drunk in public. Bro, they would have hit that dude with every fucking charge they possibly could. They swept that shit under the rug pretty much. And he's still number 1.
But other than that, I mean, Shedeur, I hope that the next 2 preseason games, you know who's like probably like a veteran for him, trying to coach him or like show him some of the ropes. It's probably Flacco. Flacco was smiling when he saw the 2 touchdowns. They showed a picture. So Flacco
ain't got that hate in his heart. It didn't look like Flacco had that hate in his heart like the rest of them, because everybody else, look, Deshaun Watson was looking mad in the motherfucker. He's like,
Yeah, he
man,
was.
I'm about to be up out of here.
Oh,
And
yep. Goodbye,
Dylan was like, these motherfuckers. They
That
sent
shit
me
looking like
up.
any given Sunday.
I
That
bet
shit
Dylan,
look.
look, I bet Buddy Dylan man was like, why the fuck y'all draft him, man? I bet money when they drafted him, he was like, that's some bullshit.
That shit look like any given Sunday. When Jamie
really
Foxx took the job. It's looking like any given Sunday. Willie Beeman. I get the ladies. Freeman.
That's it right there. Y'all see Jamie Foxx actually did come out with a video, y'all, saluting the young man during the game, bro. I was like, hey, he said it Willie Beeman saying this shit, y'all. This ain't Jamie Foxx, this Willie.
Willie.
I'm like,
No, but no, I just came up to talk my shit and just say, for once, we on the same wavelength. I wish this kid 3 more preseason games, just take the QB1 and just start. I'm gonna go to a Browns game this year too, because I'm in the city. It's gonna be great, man. Hopefully, hey, 10-7, maybe 11-6, or something like that. Oh, it's a great year for the Browns, man. Great year for the Browns. I ain't saying Super Bowl, but I'm just saying, just for the kid, Plus, he learned from Tom Brady. I know you hate Tom Brady, but Tom Brady trained the kid. Tom Brady trained the kid.
And look, Tom Brady ain't trained him, so he ain't gonna get all that credit. Like, he worked out with Tom Brady. He showed him a few things and shit. He trained with him. You gonna say Tom trained him? Like, he ain't no, we ain't doing that.
You getting a 6th, 7th time Super Bowl champion
cheater
to work out with you, to show you how to read defenses, how to be accurate, how to stay in the pocket. I'm sorry, but
Look, I'm just being mean, and I'm not hating, because I don't hate the motherfucker. I just don't like cheaters. But outside of that, yeah, he was a good quarterback, and he knows the game. He played for a really long time, so imparting that knowledge onto a younger person, it was valuable, and you can see it in him when it comes to him. They're like, "Oh, he's not athletic." It's like, man, what? I remember it used to be a insult to say a black quarterback was athletic. He runs too much. Look at him; he's over here running, athletic ass, and he go to receiver. And now when the kid sits in the pocket, you turn around and say that he's not athletic. Right, that makes sense.
Nah, man. But I'm rooting for the kid. I heard this story. I'm like, everything just adds up. It felt like it was an attack on his dad more than it was an attack on him. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna crucify this kid because of your dad, and it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? The combine thing was kind of sus, but I can get over that.
He was projected to go possibly number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Cam Ward didn't fucking goddamn work out.
That's another guy. That people want to talk about. Like, at least Shedeur didn't give up on his fucking team. He gave up on my U on the Hurricanes in one of those games. They even talked about it on ESPN. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what the fuck? Cam Ward gave up on the team. Why the fuck they not crucifying him? But nah, they're gonna crucify the boy Shedeur.
You know what it's about. Look, man, I know you ain't gonna be here for it, but we know what it's about.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to. I'm listening, man. But I'm just like, man, the only thing I can think of is Prime, and they got something against Prime. I don't know. Maybe Prime is always gonna talk his shit. That's just Prime. Prime been doing this since he was a Falcon, bro. Like he was always prime time. The reason why they call him prime time, he was the man.
He said what he said, and he backed it up.
Hell yeah! Name another cornerback who can do punt returns, kick returns, and fucking shut down one side of the fucking field. Literally, nobody wanted to throw his side because he was either swatting the ball or he was getting an interception.
Don't forget about it. And that's right after he played a full MLB baseball game.
Yeah,
he got on base twice.
Yeah, and then fucking jump on the fucking plane, go to.
Played 2 sports at the same motherfucking time. Look. I'm just saying because you here right now, just to get out the way. Look, y'all, this is what jealousy looks like.
A lot of jealousy.
And it's sad for grown ass millionaires to be doing this shit. Think about it, grown ass white male millionaires. I gotta make sure everybody know exactly who the fuck doing this shit. It's some grown ass white male millionaires that did this shit. And it's like, for what? Bitch, you needed a quarterback.
There's a lot of teams that have needed quarterbacks. I'm sorry, that's a helicopter. There's a lot of teams that needed quarterbacks in the draft. They all could have drafted him. Even the Steelers, the rival Steelers could have drafted him.
Yep.
Jordan tried and failed. Yeah, but Jordan wasn't playing the two sports at the same time, though, Hurricane.
Yeah, he still failed, though. He wouldn't have been.
He failed.
It proved that he couldn't do it at the same time, even if he wanted to.
Hell no, that's too much. But Primetime sure did it. Laced them boots up on Sunday and fucking flew out from MLB game. That's just crazy. But I ain't gonna take up much of your time. I just wanted to shout out the boy Shedeur. I'm happy for him, and hopefully 3 more preseason games, he just keeps fucking destroying it. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I want him to do good. I know he's gonna eventually he's gonna lose games, but I just hope that he wins more games than loses them. Maybe hit the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. That's all I can wish for. Shit. The best thing he could ever do is win the Super Bowl. Trust me, he'll be a Hall of Fame Browns fucking player. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, because they surely ain't had one in a long ass time.
But that's reaching the sky. But I'm just saying, like for him right now, make the playoffs.
Man, look, we gonna see, man. Look. Honestly, we know the potential if he got on the field, what he could do. And that's why we speaking those type of aspirations. But in reality, what's gonna happen is, look, man, we just hope that boy even fucking get on the fucking field.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, like, dude, he's still number 4 on the depth chart.
Let's
and
just see
that's
if he
crazy,
gets
ain't it? Dude, you know the fix is in. The fix has been in from the get-go. People cannot sit back in America and say they don't see this shit. They say they didn't see it on draft night. They say they didn't see it on draft night 2. Or they finally saw it in draft night 3 in round 5. Well, they still say it's over with. Just get over the draft. Just get over slavery. You know, just all that. Just get over it. And then they sit here and watch this shit, knowing they set him up for failure. And y'all about to see what the boy did. It's like, bro, we know what the fuck it is, man.
Damn, Prime.
That's crazy, bro. Like, goddamn, y'all don't like Prime that much. Like, goddamn, your wife or something. Like, what happened? He got head in the parking lot by the owner's wife. That's what had to happen. He's like, I ain't gonna say the words on here. I ain't trying to get in trouble. But we know what they probably said.
We'll find out though. There's something going on.
We sure will, man. Appreciate you popping up here on Kenny, man. Tell them where to find you at.
Find me on the JVJ network. And that's it for tonight.
All right, man. Like, I appreciate that shit, man. I thought you was gonna say find you at goddamn fucking name place you work at. Fucking
Chipotle.
Yeah, I thought you was like find me at Chipotle Monday through Friday. I've been here making it. I still ain't got my goddamn burrito yet though. But I guess I gotta come up there to get that shit. Can't send me no points, nothing. Send me some points or something.
I don't know how to do that. I tried with everybody. Everybody always asking me. I don't know how to do that. I need to ask my manager. I will.
Yeah, man. You need to go and get educated. Yeah, get your ass in there and get educated. Ask your store manager so I can get me a goddamn burrito. Cause I ain't gonna lie, man. I like Moe's and Chipotle, man. Maybe y'all surprised me this time, but last time it sucked. Like Moe's.
All
right, man. I ain't gonna fuck with him. I was about to talk some more dumb shit. Let me stop, y'all. We got to get to the second video, man. But yeah, man, we kind of spoiled a little bit of this shit. But we're going to see what they talking about Shedeur, man. Shedeur just had his first preseason game, y'all. And all the negative stuff that came in through the draft, getting drafted in the 5th round, 144 pick, going to a team that already got 4 other quarterbacks on the damn roster. It doesn't look like the kid is going to get a fair shake. Well, certain situations aligned. And something happened. Something happened, y'all. And we're gonna talk about it. I ain't even gonna do that other one. We're gonna talk about this one. I'm just gonna go and do it up. Yeah, I ain't even doing no fucking shout out on this one either. Fuck that. Either way though, let's get it.
one of the most anticipated preseason football games that we can remember. It was perfect timing for Shedeur Sanders to get the start, despite being listed as a team full-string quarterback.
Let's dust this off. Let's dust this off, man. Let's dust this off, man. Let's go. I'm just thankful that I was able to see the day of light and get out there and be able to play. So, they didn't have to let me play. Anything and everything, is good for me.
On Friday, Shedeur Sanders got the opportunity of a lifetime when he started the Cleveland Browns' first preseason game of the season against the Carolina Panthers. And going into it, there was more hype surrounding this game than any preseason game in NFL history, all because fans were desperate to see Shedeur play, and this is one of the most unique situations we've ever seen in NFL history. When else in NFL history have you seen a player that was supposed to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, slide all the way to the 5th round, and then enter a 4-way quarterback competition to be the first string quarterback of a team who has a history of terrible quarterback play? I mean, I think this is practically the equivalent of Love Island for football fans, primarily because we just know this is a dumpster fire, and maybe there's a chance that Shedeur Sanders could potentially save it, but there's so many other variables at play. Maybe this is a situation that gets mismanaged. Maybe Deshaun Watson returns in a year and is actually an adequate quarterback. Okay, maybe not that. However, due to the injuries to Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders had a very unique opportunity here when Kevin Stefanski came out and said this.
We got game Friday night coming up. We'll rest some starters. Some players will play. Obviously holding out some guys due to injury. Then we'll play Shedeur at quarterback.
This game was Shedeur's one opportunity to show not only the football world, but his own coaching staff as well, that he is much better than a 4th string quarterback, and he deserves a real shot in the NFL.
And y'all see this. I want everybody to make sure they understand this, because I've seen the argument already out there when people keep bringing up the obvious, they trying to sabotage this kid. It's like, look, they gave him the start. He only got the start because the other players were hurt and they not playing Joe Flacco in the preseason. That's the only reason that this young man got to start this game. Not because they're being fair. Not because it's a meritocracy or none of shit like that. No, he only got to start this game. It's because the other 2 players, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, were hurt. And then they even signed the guy. They signed Tyler Huntley right before the game, because he ended up playing the 4th quarter. So I'm like, they didn't just, they're not being fair about this situation. We're not going to sit here and act like they're being fair about this. The motherfucker hating on the kid, and they put that kid in, because remember, y'all, he didn't get any fucking reps with the 1s or the 2s. He was out there throwing the ball with the 3s and the 4s in the equipment manager. They ain't gave this boy no opportunity. They threw him into a shitstorm. And the beauty of it, look, Hurricane said facts. And we got Miss Lena in the building. She said, "Go Sanders." You already know it. They threw him into some shit, y'all. I'm just leaving it at that. I'm gonna let it keep going though. But, bruh, nah. This wasn't out of the kindness of their heart. They setting this boy up for failure.
Well, it's safe to say that Shedeur made the most of that opportunity and showed everybody who slept on him just how wrong they are. So real quick, before we get to the video, we're giving away copies of Madden 26
I don't give a fuck about none of that
that
shit you
turns on
talking
their
about,
notifications on the Panthers on front view against the Carolina. So Shedeur Sanders made his preseason debut against the Carolina Panthers on Friday, and boy did he ball out. In 2.5 quarters against what was mostly the Panthers starting defense, which, by the way, is very significant because the entire training camp, Shedeur Sanders has been balling out, but he's been primarily balling out against 2nd and 3rd teams and didn't get an opportunity to get snaps against the 1st team. So this is our very first opportunity to see Shedeur Sanders play against a 1st team defense.
And that's a lie right there. The whole time he's been in training camp, he's been going up against the number 1 defense, the starting defense. He's been going up against the starting defense. He's been going out there with the 3rd and 4th string receivers and offensive line and all that shit. He's been going up against the number 1 defense. So I don't know what the fuck he said that shit for. It's been reported on that multiple times.
And in this game, Sanders completed 14 of his 23 pass attempts for 138 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
Oh yeah, my stats was on point. I was right on point.
Clear, I have been very fair when it's come to my analysis of Shedeur. Some people think that I'm consistently flip-flopping between praising him and criticizing him. No, this is just me giving you my full evaluation of him as a prospect. Do I think he did a horrible job with pre-draft interviews? Well, given what we've seen so far with interview clips like this.
If you ain't trying to change the franchise or the culture, don't give me. You should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me.
And it may have caused...
Now think about that, y'all. He picked one moment in time when he said something that he's being confident in himself, and he says that's probably how he fucked up his whole interview process. How can you take one moment and attribute that to a person's entire life when they have more evidence showing that that's not the case? It's the same thing as like when somebody say one black person did something, so now all black people obviously do the same shit. How can you do that? That's crazy.
Him to slide in the NFL draft. At the same time, I have been clear with saying that he is a kid that possesses tremendous talent and was one of the best quarterback prospects in the entire NFL draft. So when I say that his performance in the preseason wasn't elite by any means, this isn't me just trying to hate on the guy. This is just me being completely unbiased. But it was more than enough of a performance to shut the haters up. I mean, he even called out Tony Grossi, a Cleveland Browns radio host who has notoriously hated on Shedeur after the game on Friday.
So I be hoping you got some positive to say about me. You always say negative stuff about me. And I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you. I ain't seen nothing positive that you ever said.
Now, like I said, this wasn't an elite performance on paper, but the real reason that his performance is being praised as much as it is because of the tape. The numbers are good, but they don't show the whole story. If you watched the game, you know just how electric Shedeur Sanders was while he was on the field. And if you didn't, well, that's what I'm here to show you. While I was watching the game, I made note of a few key moments and plays that I wanted to go over to show just how really good he was on Friday and just how much potential he has in this league in general. So for those of you guys that are wondering why it took me so long, it's primarily because I'm currently in Florence, and I really apologize for the production while I'm traveling. I promise you my apologies. But the first thing I want to point out from this game is his first drive. Cleveland went 3-and-out on this drive, with both of Shedeur Sanders' first passes being quick and on the first read, which didn't give me much hope that he could sit back and read the field to find an open man at the next level, which is something that he struggled with in college as well. The thing is, though, Jackson Dart, the quarterback who's drafted in the first round that most fans thought should not have been drafted over Shedeur, was also guilty of plays like this in his first game. However, after these first two plays, Shedeur really impressed me. On the Browns' next drive, Shedeur and the Browns offense found themselves in a 3rd-and-9 situation at midfield, looking to extend the drive to at least get into field goal range. They lined up in a 5-wide formation, showing their faith in Shedeur to be able to make a play without a tight end or a running back as an extra blocker on 3rd and long. Carolina would line up with 2 high safeties, the cornerbacks giving the receivers some room, and 5 players on the line of scrimmage, which screams, we're sending 5 at you and forcing you to make a quick read, which is exactly what happened. The ball is snapped, and 4 of those Carolina defenders immediately start attacking the quarterback, with the nose tackle actually stunting and wrapping around the 2 blitzers to his left, looking to find a hole in the C gap with the right tackle being occupied by the right side edge rusher. Very impressively, Shedeur reads that almost immediately and starts to roll out to his right before the tackle even crosses the line of scrimmage. Sanders knows he's faster than him, so being able to get out there before the rush comes was huge and created a lane for him past the first down markers, extending the drive and putting his team in field goal range, showing that he not...
Hey, y'all, he hold on to the ball too long, but what if people ain't open? He saw that shit coming. He got out of the way. It made it turn into a positive play. Look how far back he is right here, because this is where he's about to run from. So you can say right now he's probably at the 52, right at the 52. He has to get all the way to the 43. 52 to the 43. That's 11 yards. He got to get 11 yards. He sees this breakdown because nobody, look at all his receivers right here, y'all. All these guys are just, I don't even understand why coaches run routes short like this. I understand if you want to drag one, you want to run one to have to see if he can drag a defender away. But I'm pretty sure you got safety help over the top. That's why old buddy's sitting back here just letting old buddy just get all this room. Because it's like, bitch, I know the lines right here. So you catch that ball right there all you want. I can come down and cover that. Why they running routes like this? I think they were trying to set him up for failure. But even with him not having nobody that's even deep yet, not even fucking 10 yards deep, 5 at the most 5 yards off the line, He sees something coming ahead of time and does this.
Not only can read a blitz properly, but he can also extend with his
Pick the
legs when
first
needed
down
at
up.
the next
Right,
level.
y'all
The next
didn't
play
see
I'm
that
going
in
to go
college?
over is one that really shows off how accurate of a passer Shedeur Sanders is. Something that I've been praising him for.
We don't need you to tell us how secure, how good of a passer he is, accurate of a passer he is. He was the best. He was the most accurate quarterback in college football last year. People don't know that. For some reason, people don't know this. I guess some of the NFL execs didn't know that either. Even with him taking all them sacks, he was the most accurate quarterback. He was the most pressure quarterback and the most accurate quarterback. Think about that. Just think if you gave him time, what would he do?
Or even before he slipped in the NFL draft, and something that I have been emphasizing even as recently as my last video on him a few days ago. On the first play of the second quarter, Cleveland finds themselves within the 10-yard line, looking for their first score of the game after failing to put up any points in the first quarter. In a second and goal situation, it makes sense that Cleveland would attempt to run the ball to give themselves an easier third down and potentially break it open and score on said run play. So they come out lined up in a 12 personnel single back formation with the two outside receivers playing sort of outside of the slot as opposed to being lined up out wide, which is a huge sign that this is going to be a run play because they can provide extra blocks and create holes towards the sideline. Carolina looks like they're ready for the run as well, considering the 8 defenders that they stacked in the box. However, Kevin Stefanski decided that running a play action play would catch the Carolina defenders off guard, which isn't exactly what happened. Once the ball is snapped, Shedeur fakes a handoff to the right, but the improved Carolina defense was all over it. And by the time that Shedeur set his feet in the backfield, every single receiving option was locked up. Well, almost. From the wide angle, we see Shedeur load up to throw a pass towards the end zone, which seemed to be heading towards Deontay Johnson. But Johnson was blanketed, so that didn't make any sense. Once the camera pans, however, we see wide receiver Caden Davis making his way to the left sideline in between three Browns defenders. Shedeur somehow saw a window in between those defenders and placed it perfectly in between all of them for his first ever NFL touchdown and what is one of the most impressive throws I've ever seen from him at any level. Now, the next play wasn't flashy, but man, it really impressed me and showed some massive improvements over the problems he had at Colorado. In another 3rd and 9 situation, this time backed into his own end zone, Shedeur needed to make a play, not only to extend the drive, but to prevent a bad situation for his punter and his special teams unit. The ball gets snapped, and Shedeur just waits patiently in the pocket. At the same time, 2 Panthers have beaten their man on the line of scrimmage, and they're about to hit Shedeur. So what does Shedeur do? He ignores them, gets the ball out, and throws a laser to Gage Larvadane, who hadn't even created separation on his dig route by the time the ball was out of Shedeur's hand. Seeing Shedeur completely null and void pressure like that was arguably...
Remember, y'all, pre-draft analysis, he can't throw the ball downfield. But we're about to see a college play where he was throwing the ball downfield.
His main issue in college. And on that play, he looked like a seasoned pro with the way that he handled that. Last year, Shedeur Sanders would have tried to escape the pocket and make a big play instead of being smart, getting the ball out, or even just throwing it away. But he didn't do that here. He made the right play. And despite the touchdown throw you just saw being a bit flashier and a much better showcase of his accuracy, I'd argue that this play right here was the most important play of the game for Shedeur. If he can make plays under pressure like this with consistency, then he's going to make a lot of teams look stupid for passing up on him in April. I mean, the first overall pick, Cam Ward, made a similar play to this for his first ever NFL completion the following day. But the main difference between this play and the one that Shedeur made is that Shedeur had defenders in his face ready to take him to the ground. Cam Ward was behind an offensive line that gave him a ton of time to sit in the pocket, go over his reads, and deliver a laser to a wide open Calvin Ridley in the middle of the field. And that's not a knock.
Yeah, any quarterback, you give me that much goddamn time to sit back there and fucking throw that ball, bitch, I better fucking throw it to the right person. Sure had people in his face.
On Ward at all. Both quarterbacks showed poise on these plays, with Shedeur still having to deal with offensive line problems just like he did at Colorado. There's a reason that Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders were both projected to be top picks before the draft, and Shedeur showcased that in front of a national audience. The last play we're going to look at is a showcase of both great decision making and accuracy from Shedeur, but it's also a play that shows some elite poise in the pocket, which is the perfect combination. Cleveland lines up here inside the red zone on first down with Shedeur in the shotgun shotgun and trips on the strong side of the field. The inside receiver is going to motion over to the weak side, showing Shedeur that this is zone coverage from Carolina, because the Sam linebacker that would have been manned up on Larvidane didn't follow him over or call out a switch to the outside corner. Instead, his eyes stayed locked on Shedeur, which gave the young quarterback all the information he needed pre-snap. Once the ball is snapped, we see that Carolina actually sent one of their linebackers as an extra rusher, and because the left guard decided to double team the nose tackle for some reason, he came in free. However, running back Amani Marshall was placed in pass protection and picked up the blitz like a champ. Shedeur saw the extra rusher, but knew that Marshall was there to pick up his blind side, so he put his faith in his running back and took a little sidestep to the right to create himself a brand new pocket. Then just a split second later, Shedeur finds Caden Davis yet again in the end zone, this time on a dig that put him right in between the high safeties in their cover two. Shedeur got the ball out quickly, knowing that there was pressure coming from his blind side, and threw a dime into the soft spot of the defense for his second touchdown of the game, and the second touchdown of his NFL career. Shedeur came out with a chip on his shoulder and arguably showed more flashes of brilliance than any of the other quarterbacks taken ahead of him, with the exception of maybe Jackson Dart. This is just even more proof that Shedeur Sanders is not only a quarterback who's worthy of a roster spot in Cleveland, but I genuinely believe that he should and could end up starting games for the Browns before the 2025 season wraps up.
Calm under pressure.
Now, y'all know the funny part about that? And I get irritated every time I hear that shit. There's like, yeah, he's good enough to make it on a team. He's good enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. Bitch, we knew that before the draft. We knew that before the draft. Y'all the ones who said he wasn't good. Y'all the ones who brought in all this. He holds onto the ball too long. He isn't really playing at a high level too long. Oh, he's a little arrogant. Oh, he's a little brat. Y'all the only ones been saying this. Now you talking about, yeah, he looks like he could play in this league. We already knew that. It's amazing when people get late to the party. They show up late to the party, y'all, and they be asking everybody like, what the fuck going on? Bitch, we already done did that. We already did it. We already done been here. We were here months ago. You just figuring it out now. You're a little late, buddy. That's like somebody finding out about a new iPhone or a new Samsung a year later. It's like, bitch, we already seen that shit before, man. What you talking about? You late.
In the pocket, going through progressions, making the right throws. That's what we expected to see.
People in the NFL are starting to take notice of Shedeur Sanders' performance as well. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, he received a text during the game from an AFC North executive that said, and I quote, "It's early, but wow, actually shocked at how good he looks." At this point, even rival teams are seeing how good Shedeur is, and how absurd it is that Cleveland named him their fourth string quarterback following training camp. It's all up to Cleveland to give Shedeur the credit he deserves now, but knowing them, they're somehow going to screw this up. Shedeur was asked after the game whether or not he thought he did enough to move up the depth chart, and this is what he said in response.
I honestly don't know, and I don't really care. Whenever it's my turn, and I just gotta take advantage of it.
That's a professional answer from Shedeur, but what that answer tells me is that even if he doesn't have confidence in his team to make the right decision at QB, if it were up to me, I'd start Flacco until Shedeur is ready to take on regular season football, and then I'd give him the keys. But I can just feel that Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel are going to start games over him, despite Shedeur proving in both training camp and in his first NFL game that he's better than they are. Regardless, we finally saw Shedeur Sanders play an NFL game, and it did not disappoint. He exceeded all expectations, and I'm excited to see what direction Cleveland goes in now. Let me know in the comment section down below, are you impressed with Shedeur's?
Man, there's gonna be a lot of people sitting out here talking about they not impressed and it is what it is and all that with the stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, I definitely needed to cover that because the kid, that's the problem. This is a problem right here in American society, and that's why I always say, like, you see it in your sports. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm just saying this at a time. To be black is to be political. For those that don't know what I mean when I say that, I'm gonna say it one more time for you and I'll explain it to you. To be black is to be political. The whole situation of black people in this country has been a political debate, and political fights, arguments, legislation, and all that little shit. To be black in America is to be political. This young man didn't get dropped in a draft solely because he was black. He got dropped in a draft because his daddy was a flashy ass nigga. And they wanted to put that on him. For some reason, unapologetic guy that doesn't get in trouble, that is good at really good at what he does. Great, if you want to say that, if you really want, because Deion was great at everything he pretty much did. The jealousy starts to come out of people. You start to see it. The things that they tell other people not to do, the things they tell other people, don't behave like that type shit. You start to see it. And it's all jealousy, man. It's all jealousy. And I think it's real hoe-ass shit when you can't get the father, so you come after the son. That's some hoe-ass shit. Like, bro, that's some shit y'all used to do back in Rome and shit all the time. I guess y'all never stopped. Because that's crazy, bro. This young man showed that he was a quarterback that could play at the level. Like, when he was at Jackson State, first off, before he got to Jackson State, they said he couldn't play in college. Yeah, I know your daddy Deion, but you not no college football quarterback. Go to Jackson State, win 2 motherfucking SWAC championships. Then they get ready to go to Colorado. Oh, he can't play at the Power 5 D1 level. He go in there and turn the whole program around. The first year, they want to say they didn't have a winning record. They won 3 more games than they won the year before. And the year before, they only won 1. The very next year, they were in conversation of going to the college football playoffs. He won the best quarterback award in college football. He was the most accurate quarterback in college football. Well, you know, he's arrogant. He's brash. He's not taking it serious. Deion said that we're going to pull an Eli. And y'all got in y'all motherfucking feelings about that shit? Y'all got in y'all feelings for Deion saying we're going to do an Eli. But y'all ain't had no problem with Eli doing the Eli. Make that make sense. Eli Manning and the Manning family did exactly what Deion said he wanted to do. And y'all praise Eli. I don't hear y'all talking shit bad about none of the Mannings. But Deion and them try to do the same thing because he saw the talent that his son had. He knew that he had two first-round top 5 players. Y'all mad at that. Y'all mad? Man, that's crazy, bro. And these grown-ass men that did this shit. I'm ready to see what happens down there in Cleveland with Shedeur. Like, that's the only reason I'll be even paying attention to that team. Because what I see happening, and I don't like it, but I see this happening because I believe people hold grudges and don't never give up on shit. That's why black folks ain't got reparations yet. I believe what's going to happen is they're going to have these preseason games, and Shedeur's not going to start the next one, and he ain't going to start the one after that one. Dylan Gabriel's going to get his run. Kenny Pickett's going to get his run. And I got a feeling Dylan Gabriel's going to go out there and play like straight dog shit. And Kenny Pickett going to get in there a little bit earlier than what he was supposed to. Or they might even throw Shedeur. Man, they probably throw Huntley in there just to be some assholes. Don't even let Shedeur touch the field. They don't want to back him. But Dylan Gabriel going to go out there and fuck it up. Kenny Pickett going to go out there and do exactly what we know Kenny Pickett to do. He's not even good enough to be called a game manager. And then they're going to, I don't know if they're going to do the Tyler Huntley shit because I think they're going to end up cutting him. I think they just only put him on the team just to cover that game when all them other guys were hurt. So you have 2 quarterbacks. So Shedeur played 3 quarters. I think that's the only reason they signed him. I think that's just chump change in the bank for them. But I got a feeling that they're going to do everything in their power not to allow this kid to get on the field, in all honesty. But Joe Flacco's old. He's probably going to get hurt this season. He's probably going to get out there and start fucking up. And depending on how bad Kenny and Dylan play in their preseason debuts, because they're going to get them, it's all going to determine whether he'll get a chance because he's already showed in practice, they know this, that he's the best quarterback on that team. And it's understandable that you don't want to start him the first game because the NFL really does need to get away from that. You draft a quarterback, number 1, number 2, whatever, they got to play instantly. If you got a veteran there, man, let the veteran go out there and take the goddamn blows in the beginning of the season, man. You want to just make sure your guy can play for the future, man. This first year is the testing year. It's not that we going for the Super Bowl type shit. But they like to throw him out there. But in this situation, man, look, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens, man. I believe just the fix is in on this young man. I believe the fix is in on him. And as soon as he can get off of this team, the better. But I know that probably won't happen. Because like once he gets his opportunity, he's gonna show out, and they ain't gonna have no choice but to try to sign him to a big deal. And I'm pretty sure he'll take it. But he need to get the fuck away from this team and every other team that needed a quarterback and didn't draft him. I ain't got no fucking slack for any of the teams like the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, all these teams that got quarterbacks, the Cincinnati Bengals, these teams that didn't draft a quarterback. I ain't got no problems with y'all. You know why? You already got your quarterback. And you already got a backup. Your quarterback in their prime or walking into their prime. I got you. You ain't drafting another quarterback. But for all the teams that needed a quarterback, I hope he don't go to none of y'all bitches. I hope y'all fucking rotten motherfucking NFL hell for that shit, because that was collusion at the highest order. And it's like, dude, man, you had all these teams collude together not to take this kid. Because of what? Cocaine's a hell of a drug, y'all. But Bernie, tell them what it is.
That ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right.
It ain't right, man. And you see this shit happens a lot with a certain group of folks, man. But either way, though, we gonna see what the young man do. I said I was gonna give y'all another video. I ain't finna give y'all another video. Hey, just so y'all know, man, for y'all that normally tune in over on Let's Talk with JVJ, look, man, we're gonna be over here for the next 2 weeks. I'm in YouTube jail. So hey, ain't gonna be no lives over there. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all that shit. Thursday, all that. Over here, baby. Make sure y'all lock in. I told people, man, make sure y'all subscribe up just for these situations right here. But man, this is your situation. Bro, man, look, man, we just need to call it out. We need to be honest as a people. Because this shit shouldn't be happening to nobody. I don't care if you black, white, brown, whatever the fuck, pink and yellow. If you got the talent, you should have the ability and the opportunity. Because the big thing is the opportunity to display that. You shouldn't have people that are out here hating on your ass and trying to hinder you. And that's the problem that we have in this world, man. We got a lot of people that be hating on other folks. And sometimes it's just for no fucking reason, man. Whatever the fuck they have made up in their head. And it takes away from what could help society. I ain't just talking about sports. I'm talking about in life in general. You can have a great scientist, but for some reason, this motherfucker that has the ability to put the invention out there don't like the motherfucker, so he just gonna hinder that invention from ever coming to light. It's like, man, that's some hoe ass shit. That's some hoe ass shit. I don't care what nobody say. That's some hoe ass shit. It's like, man, be some men, be some women, some grown ass women, and fucking do the right goddamn thing. But look, man, I want y'all to make sure y'all hit that like, that subscribe, that share. Make sure you got them notifications turned on and you clicking all. And hopefully y'all subscribe to the JVJ Network, and also Tuesdays, J Talk Sports, man. Go on, take your ass on over there. It ain't that hard to go click that subscribe, man. It ain't that hard to click that subscribe over there. It's linked in the description anyways. It made it easy for you. But look, man, it's been fun. It's been great. We came, we saw, we conquered. We did what we needed to do. Hopefully they don't do my boy Shedeur like that no more, but we know that's what's going that's exactly what the fuck is gonna happen. So look, man, I just hope the young man be strong, but he grew up in the family where he had to learn how to deal with this shit. So I believe in him. I appreciate all y'all, man. We'll be right back here on Thursday, Cop Night. Well, it might be something a little different pertaining to cops, but it's Cop Night, and I guess I'll just see y'all asses then. I holler at y'all. Catch y'all in the next one as always, man.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm